Hello, fourth grade. Time for another chapter of Because of the Rabbit. When I got off the bus, Dad, Mom, and Owen were sitting in the rocking chairs on the porch. As I walked down the driveway, Mom held up her phone to take my photo, but I didn't have any smiles left in me. So I pretended I didn't see her and looked at Dad's truck in front of the barn. Last night when I went with him on his call, I had such high hopes for today. "Welcome home," Dad said, grinning. I dropped my backpack onto the front steps and burst into tears. Rocking chairs squeaked, and then I felt Mom's arms around me. "What happened?" she asked softly. I was embarrassed to be crying, but it felt so good to be hugged and to bury my face in her shirt. My answer came out in pieces. "Everything." "Come on, Em," Dad said, picking up my backpack. "Let's get you something to eat and you can tell us." Owen and I have been eyeing that blueberry pie all day, but we waited for you to have a slice with us. The pie did make me feel a little better. At least I wasn't hungry on top of everything else. And being home where I didn't have to try so hard was a relief. I felt the day melting off me like dirt in a hot shower. It was so hard to make friends. At recess, I just sat and watched other kids play kickball because I didn't have anyone to hang out with. I said between mouthfuls. My apple rolled across the cafeteria, and the lunch lady yelled at me. Then when it was time to go home, I couldn't remember which bus was mine. I had to ask Shauna from homeschool group to help me figure it out, and she's only in third grade. "I'm sorry you had a hard day," Mom said. "How were the classes?" I shrugged. "Okay. But I just got going with one thing, and then it was time for something else. Math was easy, and social studies will start off as a repeat. But I didn't finish the page of science questions, even though everyone else did. I spent too long thinking about the questions. I have to do a group project with some kids, too. We have to introduce each other to the class using the game Two Truths and a Lie." "Well, there's a chance to make a friend, right?" Mom said. She sounded hopeful, like I had felt this morning. I sighed. "I tried, but I don't think I can do this. I thought I was ready, but it's harder and less fun than I thought it would be. Maybe public school just isn't for me." "You have to give it a chance," Mom replied. "It's only been a day." "Wait, what? That wasn't what I thought she would say. But when I said I wanted to go, you said it was my choice," I said. "Remember? You even seemed a little disappointed that I wanted to go." "That's because I knew that I would miss you," Mom said. "But you can't choose to give up when something gets hard, Emma. Everything has hard parts, especially when it's new, so we can talk about it after you get through those first hard parts." "But how long will that take?" I asked. "I don't know," Mom said. "Certainly more than a day." Owen nodded. I looked away from him. I wanted him on my side. That's when I saw the pet carrier beside the door. A rotten cherry on an already terrible day Sunday. In the relief of being home, I had forgotten. We were taking Lappy to the shelter. Carrying Lappy, I followed Dad across the parking lot to the Rangeley Animal Shelter. In the race, both excited and scared had sat down on the sidelines now. Sad was the only one running. Lappy had put his paws up on the side of the pen when I went to get him, so happy that I was home. Holding him had made the whole day better, but then I had to put him in the carrier. The shelter's lobby was bright with orange, puffy chairs. There were colorful displays of leashes and collars, pet beds, and bags of food for sale. Soft music was playing, but a few dogs were barking somewhere beyond the doors. Behind the counter, a woman said, "Good afternoon. Can I help you?" "My daughter and I rescued a stray rabbit last night," Dad said. As I lifted Lappy out of the carrier, the woman smiled. "What an adorable bunny! It's not easy to tell exact age with rabbits, but this one doesn't look very old. Maybe a year or two. Let me check the lost pet database and see if anyone has reported a gold-colored bunny missing." As she typed on her computer, I stroked Lappy. I wanted my hands to remember everything about him. the size of his paws, the roundness of his back, and how his ears felt like soft flower petals. I wanted to believe that Pepe had sent Lappy to me with some rabbit magic for my first day of school, but today had not turned out anything like I had hoped. And now even Lappy was leaving me. There was a hamster in a cage along the wall. Behind the cage was a window that looked into another room with more small cages. Inside one was a white rabbit. His cage didn't look big enough for him to jump or twist or run very far. None of the lost bunnies match yours, the woman said. So what would you like to do? Do you want to surrender him to us? The word surrender did it. Lappy twitched as my tear hit his nose. Oh, Emma, Dad said gently, it's all right. I hate when adults say it's all right when you're sad. Some things just are not all right. He won't be able to hop around in those little cages. The rabbits get playtime outside their cage every day, I heard the woman say. We'll take good care of him, I promise. Hear that, Emma, Dad said. He'll get playtime. Can't we keep him, please? I was begging, but I didn't care. You and Mom won't have to do anything. I will feed him, and I will clean up after him and play with him each afternoon and every weekend so that he won't be lonely. I talked super fast so Dad didn't have time to say no. It would make school lots better because I'd have something to look forward to at the end of the day. Please, 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 please. The woman and I both waited for Dad to say something, but he just rubbed his chin thinking. Finally, the woman said softly, Did you give him a name? Monsieur Lapin, I said, but I nicknamed him Lappy. I knew with each passing second Dad's answer was more likely to be no. I kissed the back of Lappy's neck and concentrated on his smell, warm and rabbity. He doesn't know what's coming. When we walk away, will he think that I didn't like him? Or that he did something wrong? Surrender is such a terrible word. His name comes from stories my father used to tell, Dad said. He was a farmer up in Quebec. I glanced over and saw tears in Dad's eyes, too. But this rabbit simply doesn't belong to us, Em. And then, right then, I realized a funny thing about surrendering. Sometimes when you finally give up trying to make your first idea work out, you think of a second one. I looked over at the woman. Could Lappy stay with us until someone claims him? And no one ever did. If no one ever did, could we keep him? She looked at Dad. I do check the lost pet listings every day. I could call you if his family reports him missing. Usually, though, if someone has lost a beloved pet, they report it right away. And from what I can see of his fur and nails, he's been on his own for a while. Dad took a long breath. The woman gave Lappy a sad smile. The truth is that sometimes people get tired of taking care of pet rabbits and just let them go. They think they'll be able to survive in the wild, and that's not true. She turned to me. Rabbits can live up to 12 years, though. It's a real commitment. I promise I'll take care of him every day, I said. And if no one ever claims him, I'll still take care of him, even when I'm older and in high school. And if he can't come to college with me, I'll take online courses. Dad cracked a smile. You don't need to do that. But here's what I'm worried about, Em. It's harder to give up something the longer you've had it. If someone does claim him, you'll have to return him. Are you sure that you want to take that risk? I nodded. He's completely your responsibility, Dad added. I nodded even harder. Mom is gonna kill me, he muttered. As Dad gave the woman our phone number, Lappy nuzzled against my neck. I laid my cheek on his ears. Even if I hadn't made a kid best friend yet, I had a rabbit one. My knees felt like collapsing from having something finally go right today. Maybe Excited had just needed a break, because suddenly she was back in the race, even if she was behind and limping. Lappy was mine, at least for now. So 4th grade, what I would like for you to do after listening to this chapter is think about your own pet if you have one. If you do not, that's something else to think about. What would you like to have as a pet? What would that pet's name be? And why would you choose that? If you do have a pet already, what are your pet's names? What is your favorite thing about that pet? And what would you, what would you tell your classmates about that kind of an animal before they go shopping for their own pet? Can't wait to hear your answers. Bye-bye.